Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here once again with some more awesome videos. Back, we haven't done one of these in a while. Overly Sarcastic Productions, a miscellaneous myth. Bellerophon. I have no idea. I've never heard this in my life. At least I don't think so. All I know is, I guess this person rides on a horse. A flying horse, I guess. What are flying horses called again? Like a Pegasus? Is that it? Pegasus is a flying horse, right? I think so. But anyways, guys, I don't know. And we're gonna jump into this. If you're new here, I've done a couple other of these ones. So definitely check that out. I do a lot of war and geography videos. Definitely check those out on the playlists. But anyways, I guess just go ahead and jump into this. So they're fun little videos. So yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And before you do, please hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate it.
You know, for all the popularity of anti-heroes, modern literature is remarkably black and white. Characters are either good or bad, and even if it looks like they're somewhere in the middle, you know they'll end up doing something that tips the scales one way or the other. And then there are the flawed characters, those moral paragons with one or two character quirks cracking their pedestals ever so slightly. But those flaws rarely serve to actually hurt them in any way, assuming they're even real flaws at all. Yeah, here's a hint. If the worst thing you can say about your hero is that he just likes his friends too much, that's not a character flaw. So today we'll be looking at a hero whose flaw actually was his downfall, a heroic lad by the name of Bellerophon, or Bellerophontes, depending on who you ask. So Bellerophon has the distinction.
Okay, so Bellerophon. So I'm guessing looks like a Trojan, right? So I guess this myth was taken way back to the Trojan age. I guess all these myths are taken back then. But he looks like he's dressed like a Trojan, right? Anyways.
Heroic lad by the name of Bellerophon, or Bellerophontes, depending on who you ask. So Bellerophon has the distinction of being Poseidon's son, and as a consequence is a stellar equestrian. Yeah, I'm afraid outside the world of young adult fiction, being a demigod only earns you the lamest of your deific parents' abilities. But his most prominent feature is his ability to constantly get himself exiled by pissing off the resident king. First he gets himself exiled by killing someone, either his own brother or some rando, the story is unclear, and he hikes over to King Proteus to be cleansed of the crime. But while he's there, Proteus' wife tries to seduce him, and when he's like nah, she instead accuses him of trying to seduce her, which prompts King Proteus to kick him out. Proteus sends Bellerophon to his father-in-law, King Iobates, with a message telling the king to kill Bellerophon. Iobates takes in Bellerophon.
All right, I get you. Space Mariners back. He murdered someone, but then he's just getting into more crap, not under his own accord, and wow, the king's wife tries to get with him, and he's like, no. So in her defense, blames him so she doesn't get in trouble. All right, so far the kid's been murdering someone and falsely accused, right?
Sends Bellerophon to his father-in-law, King Iobates, with a message telling the king to kill Bellerophon. Iobates takes in Bellerophon as a guest, then opens the letter and learns he's supposed to kill him instead. But unfortunately, it's against the rules of hospitality to murder your house guests, so Iobates kicks out Bellerophon and tells him to go slay the chimera that's been terrorizing his kingdom in the hopes that maybe the monster will solve his little conflict of interests. So after that needlessly complicated setup, we finally have our conflict, Bellerophon versus the chimera. Now, in case you're unfamiliar, the chimera is a
Okay. Well, actually, I guess I should let them explain what the premiere is. So you see, in your mind, he murders him, but apparently he's gonna go like kill like a monster for some dude. So that's a good thing, right? So I think it's a monster. I mean, it could be something good, right? So yeah, demigods. So this is a demigod. So demigods are gods, kids of actual gods, and they only have some powers. Some like random small power. They don't have like they're not real powerful kind of thing. Okay.
complicated setup, we finally have our conflict, Bellerophon versus the Chimera. Now, in case you're unfamiliar, the Chimera is a fire-breathing fusion of several animals. A goat forms the body, a snake makes the tail,
and I'll form the head!
No, but seriously, she has a lion head. Dang, that reference was serendipitous. Anyway, on his way to probably die, Bellerophon bumps into a seer, Polyidus, who, continuing the trend of characters only serving to redirect the plot without actually contributing, points Bellerophon in the direction of the Temple of Athena, where he instructs the lad to go take a nap. So Bellerophon does, and while he sleeps, Athena drops a golden bridle necklace.
What? So Chimera is this monster, and then halfway through, this girl just hops up in front of him and goes, "Yeah, you should go like do this instead. Now screw that guy. Screw that monster thingamajiggy. Come over here and take a nap." He's like, "Oh yeah, sure." It makes me think that he really didn't want to fight this monster anyway, and he was looking for any kind of excuse to kind of get out of it. And I guess this is a great excuse as any. And what's this guy got? Is this like mermaid chick got a rope here or something? What is that?
Temple of Athena, where he instructs the lad to go take a nap. So Bellerophon does, and while he sleeps, Athena drops a golden bridle next to him and tells him where to find the Pegasus. Now, most of you probably
Athena, who's Athena? We've done Athena, right? I've heard that name. We haven't done Athena yet. But I've definitely heard that name before. I'm sure they're going to get to Athena eventually in these god things, right?
Bellerophon does, and while he sleeps, Athena drops a golden bridle next to him and tells him where to find the Pegasus. Now, most of you probably know what the Pegasus is, but his origins are a little wacky.
Okay, golden bridle. So that's the thing that goes over like the horse's head. Like I've never ridden a horse before. I have no experience in that. So I'm assuming that's what it is, like the reins kind of thing. All right, that's why I keep backtracking. I'm trying to stay with this. She speaks really fast. So there's this crazy horse, right? Okay.
Bridle next to him and tells him where to find the Pegasus. Now, most of you probably know what the Pegasus is, but his origins are a little wackier than you might think. Yup, even wackier than that. See, Pegasus was born from the Medusa's severed head. When our buddy Perseus cut it off, Pegasus sprang fully formed from her neck stump along with his brother Chrysaor. Now, you've probably never heard of Chrysaor, which is mostly because we—
What? The Pegasus comes from Medusa's head, just magically appears?
Pegasus sprang fully formed from her neck stump along with his brother Chrysaor. Now, you've probably never heard of Chrysaor, which is mostly because we barely know anything about him. His name means he who has a golden sword, and he's sometimes shown as a giant, but he's also been represented as a giant winged boar. He hardly features in any known stories, and people have cobbled together characters with his name from his grab bag of traits. Sometimes he's a winged dude with golden armor, sometimes he's a tusk monster. I don't know, man. Someone get this kid a solid characterization stat. No, not you, Saint Seiya. You had your chance. That hair—
It sounds like this character has just been like playing a big long game of telephone and got like information has just been changed throughout the years, and they don't have a reliable source on it. So they just have all these different sources because the original source got destroyed or something. Anyways.
I don't know, man. Someone get this kid a solid characterization stat. No, not you, Saint Seiya. You had your chance. That hairstyle is unforgivable. But anyway, Pegasus, fancy winged horse, you know the drill. Bellerophon drops the bridle on him, makes an appropriate sacrifice to Poseidon, and boom, instant besties. So Bellerophon hops onto Pegasus and they fly off to the Chimera's lair. But unfortunately, the Chimera is really stupid strong, and Bellerophon can't put a scratch—
Okay, so no, he's not chicken because he's going back to the Chimera, and apparently that little girl that sent him for a nap knew what she was talking about, knew that what's that the god girl's name, would give him the bridal thing and put it on, and so that Bellerophon would have help with Pegasus. So it makes his chances even better because now it's like a 2-on-1. So okay, so just helping him along, and he's not afraid after all. Because he's going back to actually fight the monster.
They fly off to the Chimera's lair. But unfortunately, the Chimera is really stupid strong, and Bellerophon can't put a scratch on her. But all the fire breathing gives him an idea. He finds a large block of lead, presumably somewhere in hammer space, and sticks it to the end of his spear. Then he jams that sucker down the Chimera's throat, and when she breathes fire, it melts the lead, suffocating her. Yay? So
it's like, how do you get close enough to put the spear like you're on a flying horse? It seemed like he was levitating. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't question how it happened, considering these are myths, and a lot of these things are pretty ridiculous anyways. So me questioning how they got a cold down its throat, I guess it's kind of silly. So never mind.
then he jams that sucker down the Chimera's throat, and when she breathes fire, it melts the lead, suffocating her. Yay? So Bellerophon scoots on back to King Iobates, who immediately sends him off to do more perilous questing in the hopes that maybe this time it'll stick.
Oh, come on, he's a hero now. Like, he should be, like, really cool in everyone's eyes now because, like, he defeated this, like, crazy cool monster.
But Bellerophon cheerfully prevails over his next two challenges, defeating both the Salimi tribe and the Amazons. Iobates decides to stop screwing around and orders his guards to kill Bellerophon, but after a confusing incident involving some divine intervention from Poseidon—
Like, why would you do that? Like, if you're the king and this kid does something really well, why wouldn't you just send him off to beat your enemy? Like, this king's got to have some kind of enemy, right? So why not just send him off to beat, like, your craziest enemy, which you probably have trouble with? So just send him off to kill your enemy, and if he wins, awesome. If he dies, awesome. So, I don't know.
Stops screwing around and orders his guards to kill Bellerophon, but after a confusing incident involving some divine intervention from Poseidon and a whole bunch—
You guys are so pissed at me for pausing all the time. But yeah, when you send your guards, your guards are gonna kill him when this damn giant monster beast that shoots fire can't even beat him. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Sorry, this is a lot of information just flying by.
Around and orders his guards to kill Bellerophon, but after a confusing incident involving some divine intervention from Poseidon and a whole bunch of naked women, Iobates finally gives up on trying to kill Bellerophon, reasoning that anyone that lucky has to have at least one god on his side. Iobates gives Bellerophon half his kingdom and his daughter's hand in marriage, very classic, and all seems well. But remember how I said Bellerophon has a flaw? Besides ending up with the lamest superpower.
Okay, before we get to the flaw, that sounds like a pretty good deal, man. He gets half it, he gets the daughter. Man, he's living the life, a hero's life. So hey, I agree, happy ending, but here comes the flaw. Here comes the flaw. What is it?
Marriage, very classic, and all seems well. But remember how I said Bellerophon has a flaw? Besides ending up with the lamest superpower ever, Bellerophon has an unfortunate tendency towards hubris, and all his victories only serve to fuel that particular fire. Eventually, Bellerophon starts wondering why he doesn't get to live on Olympus, given that he's so great and everything. Then he remembers that he has a flying horse, puts two and two together, and hops on Pegasus with destination Mount Olympus. Unfortunately, this pisses off Zeus, because apparently only he gets to indiscriminately invade other people's homes, and he sends down a gadfly, which stings Pegasus and causes the horse to throw Bellerophon off its back. Our hero plummets to earth, felled by his own hubris, or more accurately, by Zeus's hubris getting territorial. And thus ends the tale of the hero Bellerophon. He died as he lived, getting sent places by other people with no real agency of his own.
Okay, so Zeus basically sends it in, what kind of bee or fly that kills the horse, and he just basically falls to his death. That's a pretty lame ending. Pretty lame ending. Well, this is fact. Well, it's a myth, but this is fact. But damn, dude, you're a hero, and man, you should have lived a life. You should not have got so nosy and just lived your life, dude.
Hero Bellerophon. He died as he lived, getting sent places by other people with no real agency of his own.
Hey, right side of Bellerophon isn't always presented as having died from the fall. Sometimes he lives as a blind, crippled madman. Okay. Yay! If you're ever in Chicago, hit up the Pegasus restaurant in Greek town. Their avgoleano soup is really good. Okay. Never been to Chicago, but okay. I'd apologize for using this song 2 videos in a row, but really it's the fault of the Greeks for doing this this song. I'm gonna get copyrighted for sure, and what I'm saying right now is probably I'm sorry if what I'm saying right now gets the sound gets taken out just because it's copyrighted. Sorry. This has been early cash production. That's it. Okay. Well, there you have Bellerophon. So basically, he just keeps getting sidetracked to do other stuff until he kind of got settled, and then he got sidetracked and got sent, and then that was his demise. So the sidetrack kind of made him who he was and brought him up to hero status. But then, he can't just stop and settle down. He's got to keep going, and ultimately led to his death. So, pretty crazy dude. It seems like he lived a pretty crazy life. And yeah, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts below if you need more information on this myth. And catch you guys in future videos. This was fun. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you had. I think I already said that. But anyways, peace. Catch you guys in future videos. You guys are awesome. Woohoo!